How does the Battle of Berlin compare to other WWII battles? Imagine a city under siege, where the fate of a nation hangs in the balance. The Battle of Berlin was one of the largest and bloodiest confrontations in the European theater of World War II. It marked the final major offensive against Nazi Germany, culminating in the fall of the German capital in May 1945. This battle involved over 2.5 million Soviet troops and thousands of tanks, making it one of the most massive military operations in history. Lasting several weeks from mid-April to early May 1945, it was characterized by intense urban combat and significant casualties on both sides. When comparing the Battle of Berlin to other major battles in World War II, several distinct features stand out. First, the scale of forces involved was enormous. The Soviet military committed around 2.5 million soldiers, supported by thousands of tanks and artillery pieces. This level of mobilization was greater than most other battles on the European front. The strategic importance of capturing Berlin before the Western Allies was immense. The human cost of the Battle of Berlin was staggering. Soviet military casualties were estimated at over 80,000 killed, with several 100,000 wounded or missing. German military deaths ranged from approximately 90,000 to 100,000, with an additional 480,000 soldiers captured. Civilian deaths were also significant, estimated at around 125,000 due to intense street fighting and bombardments. These figures place the battle among the deadliest urban confrontations of the war. The intensity of urban combat in Berlin was unlike many other battles. Fighting took place house to house and street by street, making it particularly brutal. The city suffered extensive damage from artillery and airstrikes. This urban environment favored defenders but led to massive civilian suffering. Symbolically, the Battle of Berlin held enormous importance. As the capital of Nazi Germany, its capture signified the definitive defeat of the Third Reich in Europe. The obsession of Soviet leader Joseph Stalin with capturing the Reichstag, a symbolic target, highlighted the political weight attached to the battle. This differs from other battles that were more strategically focused. When we look at other key battles, the Battle of Stalingrad comes to mind. Both battles were pivotal and bloody urban confrontations on the Eastern Front. However, Stalingrad was a turning point that halted German advances, while Berlin was the final Soviet assault to end the war in Europe. The D-Day invasion, or Normandy invasion, involved massive amphibious landings and marked the beginning of the Western Allies' push into Western Europe. This battle was less about urban combat and more about breaking through fortified coastal defenses. The Battle of the Bulge was Germany's last major offensive in the West, fought in forested terrain with mobile armored units. This contrasts sharply with the siege and urban warfare that defined the Battle of Berlin. The aftermath of the Battle of Berlin led directly to Germany's unconditional surrender. The city lay in ruins, and the battle's consequences shaped post-war Europe. It resulted in the Soviet occupation of East Berlin and the eventual division of Germany. The immense sacrifices made by the Soviet forces during this battle and the war as a whole became central to Soviet historical memory. In summary, the Battle of Berlin was unique among World War II battles for its scale, intense urban combat, high casualties, and decisive political outcome. It was the climactic confrontation that ended Nazi Germany's reign in Europe and set the stage for the continent's post-war division and reconstruction.